We're going to take a look at how we can go from zero analytics with our Stripe data to a one-click upload and get a full suite that looks like this and this. So let's go ahead and get started. We are just logged in under our Stripe account, and we can take a look here and see that on our KPI homepage, we've got nothing. No data. If we go and take a look at our reports and we take a look at, one of our, SQL dynamic reports based on the data, we've got nothing here. So how do we get that one-click full upload? Well, we are a tenant admin. So the first thing we're going to do is go to the tenant admin section, go to data upload. And for the source selection, we're going to go ahead and select Stripe from the dropdown. We will pick JSON for the upload, and let's go ahead and grab our JSON bundle. In this case, we've got some Stripe data that's already consolidated and ready to go. So just like that, we can see that it's validating the data, it's loading it to some staging tables, and then it's also going to go through and conform and build this data model for us and add the additional KPIs that we're looking for. So it's going through that process right now. All right, and our data is ready. We got those nice green checks all the way through. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. We're going to go ahead and swing back up, and let's go to our home page where we were before and where we had all those empty KPIs. Nothing was filled out. And hey, here we go. We got our data ready to roll. For the purposes of this data set, the kind of anchor date for the analytics is around March 31st. So I'm just going to go ahead and select that just to kind of refresh the visuals. And here we go, right? We've got our key metrics, our trends. If we want to do little things like data levels, we can do that. But now we can kind of get those insights that we're looking for in those analytics. Not going to dive too much into this, but with the KPI page, if we wanted to change the KPIs or the trends, we could do that here, and these will be saved for us on the next login. So cool. So let's go ahead and take a look at some reports really quick before we get to the next gen engines. We saw before that our dynamic SQL report was empty, so awesome. Now we've got that data, it's fully loaded. Again, these are totally customizable, so if we wanted to move columns around, remove certain fields, add some filters. In this case, maybe we want to add a filter on, just for purposes here, maybe age of months. We'll just set that equal to 1. And there we go. Now we've got everything updated. And if we want to, create a data export to get that data back out of the system, we could do that here. And we took a look at our SQL reports. Let's take a look at our dynamic Power BI reports. So we're going to go ahead and click on, cohorts engine here and take a look at this. And let's pull this up, and we'll see the reports here. And the thing about these reports that's been really great is we've been able to use, or I've been able to use AI to, actually build these Power BI reports. So we're taking the data, we're putting it into the conformed model, and then Power BI, KPI, cohort engines, AI, reading the signals, it's all pointing to the same data. And when I'm building it, it can actually validate the data. It was able to run these DAX queries locally, check against the SQL database. It kind of is able to kind of tie it all together. So it's not only building everything here, it's able to do the validations and tie it all together as well. So that whether we're looking at the cohort comparison engine here, or we're looking at the the engine variant of that as well, all the analytics are going to tie out, end to end, which is great. And we can see that, we're going to take a look at those engines here in just a minute. You're going to see that, very similar types of, charts and visuals through that. One thing I do want to call out with the reports, I'm not going to go through it now. There's another video that I go into detail on this, but the ability to have clone and threads with other users, save views, that's all here, can export the data. Particularly one I wanted to call out is tenant security is enabled end to end. So what does that mean? In this case, when we click on the security here, we can see that I'm logged in under customer ID 1, 10, and 10. But let's go ahead and log in under a different customer. So we're going to log out. We're going to go to our Apex Federal. We're going to log in under Marcus here. So this is a different tenant, tenant one. And what we're going to see is go ahead and go to reports, quite a few reports. Let's just go to cohort engine here. And we're going to go to the security page as soon as this loads up. All right, perfect. And there we go, tenant one. And this is great for tenant level security. But what if I'm a customer and I want to see all my tenants combined and I'm a customer admin? I want to get that holistic look. That's enabled as well. So if we go ahead and log out and then log back in under Sarah, who is a customer admin for this one here, now it's going to change. We're going to swing back, get the list of reports and go to cohorts engine. We're going to take a look at that security panel again. And here we go. Now she can see all her tenants. So now we can get that holistic look for the whole company. Awesome. We're going to go ahead. We're going to head back to tenant 10. So that's going to be our Stripe upload. All right, we are back on our Stripe upload tenant. So we just took a look at the reports. We've got our KPIs, everything's filled out now. Let's go ahead and take a look at those next gen engines. We've got 3 of them out there right now: MRR, churn and retention, and cohorts engine. I'm not going to do a full deep dive into each one of those. I'm going to go a little bit more into the cohorts engine, but just to kind of give you the look and feel, I'll briefly go through each one. So this is our monthly recurring revenue analytics engine. And let's get a little bit more real estate here. So let's hide that. We can see, we've got our KPIs up top. We can see how we're trending. We can see how we're doing against benchmarks. See where there's maybe some growth, some churn. We've got our insights and signals, which are deterministic over here on the right-hand side. And we can see things like created accounts, maybe some canceled accounts, and look at the waterfall, kind of look at new MMR, churn to kind of get that net, kind of see how we're trending over time. This also allows us to maybe click on a particular account and get some additional information for them with this drill through pop-up. So let's go ahead. We're going to swing back up and go to our churn and retention. Again, very similar to MRR here, just focused on churn and retention. Going to get some different analytics, some different insights, full suite to kind of help understand that story, see that benchmarking, kind of get a sense of, where we're at and where we're going. And what I want to kind of focus on for today is the cohorts engine. So I'm going to select that. And what we're going to see here now is that this is a smaller tenant, so it's just a little bit of a warning. Hey, you might see some, some jankiness with the months. That's okay. Let's go ahead and close that down. This is our recommended cohort, but if you want to change it, you can. It's just letting us know why we picked it. If we wanted to, we could export the data to CSV or PNG, right? Take the visuals with us. But if we go ahead and take a look over here on our insights, we can see, we got our snapshot of what's going on. We've got our signals. And, one of the things that we can do now with AI on this particular, model that we have is we're going to go ahead and run it. And what we're doing here is AI is not going to calculate the numbers and try to figure stuff out. It's already getting the information sent to it. And it's just kind of helping to synthesize that and come up with a digestible story to just kind of simplify what's happening with the numbers. So in this particular case, selected cohorts 12-month MRR retention, 0.7, trailing the benchmark. So okay, we're not hitting the benchmark. But the key here is that what it's going to try to help tell with the story is, hey, what's happening? And we can kind of see all those insights over here, why it matters. And then more importantly, what can we do about it? What are some recommended actions? And we can kind of see those there. And at the very end, just give it to me real simple. So here we go. We need to fix early churn and tighten retention strategies and close the benchmark gap. Pretty straightforward, but it gives some recommended actions that we can do to help improve that. And again, just like all the others, we got a full suite of analytics here. And we can actually, if we want to, hide that AI, review for us, and then give us that full real estate to kind of get some more, room to kind of, understand the visuals, like our retention curves, logo and MRR, cohort comparison. Again, similar visuals, just like we saw in those those embedded Power BI reports. All right. So last but not least, we've got the Multiverse Council. And what we're looking to do here, this is kind of the AI executive boardroom for your business. And we've got some incoming disciplines. And today, what I want to kind of focus on is just kind of give you a sense of, the idea for these. And in particular, we're going to look at the Scenario Explorer. Reveals alternate futures and their branching consequences. So let's go ahead and click on that. And that's going to take us to the Scenario Explorer. So here we go. So, what's kind of what's the goal here? Well, the idea is that, based on our historical data, we're going to pick some strategies, and the model's just going to kind of give us an idea of, of guide of, kind of where it thinks, kind of weighted based on, where you're picking. So what does that mean? Let's go ahead and just say, hey, we want to have a strategy of maybe increased growth, not so much on retention, maybe a little bit of acquisition spend. And based on that, the model is going to kind of give us some weights of, where it's kind of sensing that's going to be, whether it's the opportunity, the most probable. And essentially what this boils down to here is just, hey, if you execute above and beyond, that's your opportunity. If it's kind of business as usual, this is where in this particular case, the model kind of has it as, bigger weight as far as, what that could be. And then like, hey, if we don't do a good job or don't execute as well, right, that's the, the risk universe. And these are some things that we could look at. And so what we're able to do now is once we kind of lock those in, down here, we do have like an execution playbook to kind of give some, prescriptive actions, for those settings. But when we're ready, we can generate a council brief, which is going to call our AI C-suite to just kind of, give us a North Star and some guidance or just some inputs based on the selections. So I'm going to go ahead and generate the council. And let's scroll up just a little bit. And here we go. Council Spotlight. So we had selected most probable universe. And that's going to forecast stable execution with 10% revenue delta, some EBITDA improvements, and some additional things. The big thing here is our North Star, so logo retention rate and renewal window. And if that's our North Star, what's our kind of C-suite guidance for that? So we want to approve budget for retention initiatives with strict ROI tracking, deploy targeted renewable rescue workflows, and monitor logo retention closely, and coordinate cross-functional teams to execute retention interventions seamlessly. So, okay, that's the high-level guidance. But let's switch that up. We'll go ahead and minimize that. And if we wanted to, our council's back down there. That gives us our, recommended sequence and, what the C-suite was saying. All right, and let's pick another strategy. Let's say that we really wanted to kind of focus on retention. So we're going to go really high into retention, put growth and acquisition kind of that baseline, and then pick the opportunity. Like, hey, if we execute really well, what's this thing going to look like? And let's go ahead and generate our council brief based on that. All right. And based on those selections, our North Star is now activation rate in the first 30 days for new accounts. So, okay. Approved moderate growth pressure increase contingent on retention safe measures. And our CRO, CO, you see those endpoints as well. So again, the goal here is to, help understand our strategy, where we're going to make better decisions with that. And in addition to that, we've got the ability to commit this scenario so that we can log it and track it, whether you want to be doing things weekly, monthly, quarterly. And then the next time we can factor that in to kind of say, hey, last time we picked a strategy, these were the results, this is what it looked like. So we can kind of learn from it as we move forward. So that's kind of the goal with the Scenario Explorer. And there we go. So we just saw, hey, we can upload some Stripe data, get a full suite of analytics, go and get insights into our data. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. And until then, we'll see you next time.